And they're never going to tell you the truth. And so that's why we need people like Charlie Kirk.
Well, and also it gives us an opportunity to really show the contrast between the truth of Christianity and the lies of Islam. They say that Muhammad was the greatest man ever to live. That is their claim, not our claim. Okay, Muhammad was a genocidal warlord who married a 6-year-old. Did you guys know that? And then consummated the marriage when she was 9 years old. We believe the greatest man ever to live defeated death at the grave, rose 3 days later, and when it came to children, said it's better for you to have a millstone hung around your neck than to go after one of these children. I'm sorry, I'm Team Jesus on this one. And I want to comment on the wokeism stuff too, everybody, which is that if you know of a church that has a gay pride flag outside of that church, that is not a church. That's something else. And I'm not trying to attack the individuals running that church. Steve might. I don't know them.
Oh, I will, yeah.
But I don't know enough. All I know is what I can see. And that's something else. That could be a Democrat Party headquarters. That could be a Planned Parenthood building. That could be a pagan temple. But that's not a church. And we need to stop treating them like churches or calling them churches. Because you should not desecrate the name of the Lord with the homosexual flag outside of the holy place. Period.
And you know, just to tag on to that, it's also the churches that refuse to speak about it at all. That let
Silence
these people
is
complicit. They're complicit. So, you know, they have people serving in their church, serving with their children, serving on their stage, and they don't care. And I'm telling you, folks, it's so egregious. It's so anti-God to let that immorality stand in our pulpits and think it's okay. It's not okay. And we have the answer for them, by the way. The answer is Jesus. Jesus can save them. He can heal them. He can help them. But not if we're complicit and agree with them and think it's okay. We can't help anybody when we agree with their lifestyle and the thing. There's no help for them. Would you agree?
Love is not approval. The three most important things that every church should talk about, and Steve talks about it every Sunday, is where did I come from or how did I get here? Why am I here? And where am I going? Origin, purpose, destination. Every church should talk about those every single day. And the problem is that the modern woke church, they're indifferent about the last two. They might say God created you, but they'll be like, well, you're here to live your best life or to love yourself. Everybody, you are not here to love yourself. You're here to do 4 words. Jesus said it. Love God, love people. 4 words. Every day you should be loving God and loving people. But love does not mean acceptance.
Yep.
If I saw that Steve was in a repeated, declared, sinful pattern of behavior, would it be loving or unloving for me to tell him? It would be unloving for me not to tell him. The loving thing is where you see a brother or a sister stumbling for you to correct it. Now, you don't have to scorn. And here's one very important thing that I think people get mixed. It is a sin to humiliate. You should never humiliate somebody. Now, if they humiliate themselves, like many do on my college campus videos, they did it to themselves. But sometimes I fall short of this standard in my videos. I do. I acknowledge it. But if you see someone that is sinning, you take them privately, say, hey, you're not living Christ-like in this way. Either you're engaging in homosexuality or you're fornicating or you're cohabitating. And by the way, we're not just picking on homosexuality. If you are living with somebody before you get married, you are sinning, and that is the sin of cohabitation. If you are sleeping with somebody before you get married, that is the sin of premarital sex. And now, and even worse than even all of those, if you are sleeping with a married person or sleeping while you are married, that is the sin of adultery, which in the Old Testament was punishable by death. I'm not saying it should be punishable by death, but it was a very serious sin in the Old Testament, right? But if I see somebody either, they are not living in a standard befitting of God. They might be recklessly gambling. By the way, we have a huge gambling problem in this country. The sports gambling stuff is getting totally out of control. And young men, I want to tell you before football season kicks off, there's a much better use of your time than trying to do a parlay bet on DraftKings or FanDuel. Spend that money on yourself, by improvement on your family, or go buy Amazon stock. Don't go do that, okay? But that's